am going to show you how to make a candle today and how to sell it for a profit. This is something that my daughter and I have done for extra money. You don't need a lot of stuff to get started making candles. You're going to need some sort of container like this soy wax. You can use anything from mason jars to teacups to coffee mugs, whatever you want to make candles in. You can use a wick sticker or a little bit of hot glue. I just like to use a little bit of tape. We regonna center a wick and then we regonna pour our wax into our container. Now I like to leave a little space at the top for air. It also helps to prevent wax from overflowing when it expands as it burns. We're going to let our candles cool completely before we remove them from the silicone. Today, I'm going to be using these silicone molds. I like to use these clear jars. They're really popular right now and they're a great way to display your candles. All you have to do is remove your candle from its silicone mold, place it into the jar, and then add your label. You can sell your candles at craft fairs, farmers markets, online marketplaces, or even set up a little stand outside of your house. Whatever you do, make sure that you have a plan to keep your candles safe while you're transporting them. I usually use bubble wrap and a box. Here is a look at the finished product. I think these turned out so cute. These are really easy to work with because once your candles have cooled and hardened, all you have to do is pop them out of the silicone. I usually price my candles based on the size and the cost of materials. My small candles cost around $3 to make and I sell them for around $8. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye. My larger candles cost around $5 to make and I sell them for around $12. I also have a link down below to a candle making kit if you looking to make candles in a larger quantity, or if you looking to make different shapes of candles. I highly recommend checking out a candle making kit. It comes with everything you need to get started and it has really high quality supplies. First things first, let me show you what you're gonna need. I usually buy my wicks in bulk from an online marketplace. It's a lot cheaper than buying them at a craft store. I'll have a link down below to the exact ones that I'm using. Next, we're going to need some sort of heat source. Now, I use a double boiler to melt my wax, but you can use a slow cooker or even the microwave. I also like to have a thermometer to make sure that my wax doesn't get too hot. Different waxes have different melting points. So it's important not to go over that. If your wax gets too hot, it could ruin the scent throw of your candle. Next up, we're going to need wicks. Candle wicks come in different sizes, so make sure that you get ones that fit the size of your container. Just make sure that they're specifically made for candles. I'm going to be using orange and spice and everything nice. Let me show you how I make my candles. First thing I do is I add my wax to my double boiler and then I put it on low heat. Once my wax starts to melt, I remove it from the heat and I add in my fragrance. Now, I usually add about 10 drops of essential oil per ounce of wax. So for this recipe, I am going to add 2 ounces of wax. So I will add about 20 drops of fragrance. Make sure that you stir your fragrance in really well. Now let's talk about fragrance. Now I like to use essential oils, but you can use fragrance oils. Next up, we gonna grab our wick and we gonna secure it to the bottom of our container. Now that our candles are finished, let me show you how we package them up to sell. Now let's talk about pricing. Now let's talk about where to sell your candles. All right, I hope this gave you some ideas on how to make and sell candles.